My name's Je-Ree. Nice to meet you.
Oh, oh,
Oh, there you
there
go.
we go.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today.
Of course, thank you for reaching out. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
I
would
saw
love
your
to.
tweet. You were like, "It's my first time on air," and I was like, "Oh, we got to talk about it." That's exciting.
Yes, it's super exciting. It's just been the biggest dream come true, and I'm super blessed that it's all happening. So,
Yes, of course. So you booked, of course, for those who don't know, that's gonna be watching Bel-Air. You played Eli. So you were a big
mhm,
fan of like the original show. Or were you even
I
born
was.
yet? I feel like I'm old.
No, I was not born yet, but it definitely was my like my 3 a.m. Nick at Night, tune
Yeah.
in, you know.
What's your
Um,
favorite episode?
oh man. There are so many.
Right.
But I just think like the moment I always go back to is when Ashley's performing at the show and
Hmm.
like Will and Carlton are like the backup
Yeah.
dancers. So and then Carlton starts going off and he's like,
Yes. Okay, wait. So you booking the show, how did all that come about?
Oh man, okay. So I just been, auditioning, since just like kind of like auditioning, in general, out here in
Yeah.
LA. And you know how the industry goes. It's like you kind of have to like audition and let it go. And if it comes back, then it's like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
Um, So I had got the email for the self-tape requests in like I want to say like end of February, beginning of March.
Mm.
Um and it already looked interesting, like the character description and everything, and I definitely resonated with it. So I was like, bet, I'm gonna just try it. We do what we do, audition, give our best, and then, let it go with the wind. Um and then it took about a couple of weeks, and then I heard something back, and it was my agents were like, okay, tomorrow you have a chemistry read slash callback with Akira. And I was like, oh, yo, okay, cool, 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 cool. So, I'm trying to be cool. I'm like, okay. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm like, God, please, God, please, God, please, God, please. um so I went to the chemistry read, and it was so amazing. It was the casting director, the casting assistants, and then the writers and producers, and then Akira.
Mm.
Um, and it just felt right. Like it just felt very right. Like there was, like there didn't have to be any extra like work that needed to be done. It was just like, it was just very, in the moment. And everyone just had so much good energy, and I was just so grateful for that. Um, I was nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Um, but I just kind of, took a breath and went in and, did what I had to do and met these amazing and talented people, and, just kind
Yeah.
of left it up to God and left it up to the universe. And yeah, next thing you know, a couple days later, because I've been doing Uber Eats to kind of, hustle a little
Yeah.
bit, the struggling artist life.
Yeah.
So I had left to go because I didn't hear anything back, and I was like, I guess I'll go Uber some more, make some, you know what I mean? And then literally I got my first Uber order, and then as soon as I got that, I had the email pop up talking about you booked the role, and it
Yay.
was it was just yeah, I literally pulled over and screamed and started crying.
Aw,
Just
that's
yeah.
so dope. Well, how's it been on set? Is it like crazier than you could have imagined? The set.
Oh no, like just because like I know the industry, like
Mhm.
it has a reputation of like being like a very intense environment, like on set and stuff. But from day one, it was just so warm and positive and uplifting and welcoming. And of course, everyone's there to work, but everyone was so friendly and nice to each other. And it was honestly the biggest blessing I could have asked for. This being my first, on
Yeah.
air, on camera gig. It was so warm and inviting and uplifting and supporting, and it was just everything and more. And
That's
yeah,
so
I already miss being on set because it's like we all became like a family, like, you know what I mean? And I was just happy to be a part of that family, you know what I mean? Everyone just like welcomed me with such open arms and was happy that I was there, and kind of helped me get over that imposter syndrome that I had within me.
I know about imposter syndrome. That's so dope. Did you get to meet Will Smith?
No,
Oh,
he came on set literally like one of the only days that I wasn't, and I was like, no.
of course.
But hopefully in the future.
Yes, yes. So how is your character Eli similar to you, and how are you guys different?
Yeah, I feel like we're very similar in the sense that, we kind of have the same kind of attitudes towards life, and kind of push ourselves to stand in our individuality and authenticity.
Mhm.
Um, I just think the difference is he kind of is able to do that at a younger age, whereas me, Michael, kind of took me a little bit to find my footing within that as a person. But Eli has definitely already brought out, some of the more stronger characteristics in me, and I'm just grateful. It just felt very divine, and very right. Like me and this character are so similar in so many ways. We're both singers and songwriters, so that felt like, oh, this is a good connection point. We're both young artists,
Mhm.
and I just think, we stand in our individuality and we stand in our authenticity, and I just think that that's very important, and I hope that Eli is able to encourage and inspire a young generation of young Black queer creatives in the world. So,
That's so awesome. So far we've seen you in a few episodes,
mhm,
building this connection with Ashley, the character of Ashley. Anything you
mhm.
could tell us about the current storyline, obviously without spoiling it, but like anything you could tell.
Yeah, I mean, Eli, he definitely is just kind of going with the flow. He gets this, band, this band audition, and just kind of wants to go for that, being, who they are, who he is. Um, And so I don't think they really expect this connection to, like, go anywhere at first. Um, but yeah, I mean, all I could say is, you just gotta kind of have to watch and see. But I think
Yeah,
Eli and Ashley definitely have a connection that is definitely building towards something.
something. Yeah.
Something. I don't know. You might have to tune in and watch. So.
Yes, of course. Tune in and watch. And you mentioned music. So can you talk
Mhm.
about your music? Not the character, but your music.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I started doing music when went in like 2020.
Hmm.
Kind of like during the quarantine vibe. I've always been around it all my life. My dad was, a local rapper in my hometown. He'd always come home with these like mixed and mastered songs, and I'd always be like, "Oh my God, like this is crazy!" And I would always be like, "Please take me to the studio, please take me to the studio, please take me to the studio." And then, me and my mom would kind of sit at the computer during the LimeWire days and kind of just go through and download, a bunch of music from Lauryn Hill to Michael Jackson to Prince to Beyonce to TLC, Pebbles, Babyface. Like, she really instilled that culture in me. And
Hmm.
I'm grateful because it really attributes to my music taste, my musical style, and what I kind of want to present to the world as, Javon. Um, so yeah, I mean, I've always been around it. I started like actually taking it serious in 2020. I released my first song with a fellow collaborator called Closer, and then I released my first solo song called Shady Sunshine, and then my first like actual mini project called Loverboy. Um, and I always wanted to like kind of have this artistic presence that kind of embraces this kind of old school pop R&B, but also embraces myself and my individuality. I'm a lover boy. I know calling myself the pretty boy in one project, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now I'm transitioning into the heartbreak kid, and it's definitely, I see my music and my artistry as a coming of age story in progress. Because we're all always coming of age.
Hmm.
This is definitely like Javon is definitely the person I've always aspired to be, and is in me, is a part of me. And um yeah, I just want to be a part of the big melting influence of music. I want to be like the people who inspired me. I want to be like Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Like I want to bring that back to music a little bit. So um yeah, I
Giving the
love
Bruno Mars vibe, you are.
I've gotten that so much. I've gotten that so much. It's crazy. Especially since the show has come out. Like I've been like
Yeah.
looking on Twitter. I've been like, what are people saying?
I was gonna ask that. Have you gotten any fan like feedback or have you seen anything? So you go look. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely have. Like a little bit, a little bit. It's just been like funny. Like it's like I'm kind of living in this like pinch me moment just because it's like I've been dreaming of like these things happening for like my whole life, and it's finally happening, and just seeing people's reactions to it has just been like very funny, but also like, whoa, this is like really happening. Like
Yeah.
this is crazy. So yeah, I am just very grateful and very blessed that it's all happening this way. And in this amazing show, you know what I mean? I couldn't have asked for anything more. And I'm just happy to be here. So
That's dope. I'm sure, blown up. I found you and I was like, oh, what they talking about? I'm sure it's gonna blow up now. All the girls and see you, all the boys and seeing you. I was
Yes.
watching your episodes. I was like, okay, he's got it. He's got it.
I'm honored. I'm truly honored. Like little Michael is like, what is this baby?
Yeah.
Because that's I just do it for my inner child, and my
Yeah.
inner child is definitely doing some cartwheels right now.
So is your music like on where can they find your music?
Yeah,
Spotify?
you can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, any major streaming platforms. I have a couple music videos on YouTube. I go by Jovan, it's Govan in all caps. Um, I've been dropping a lot of really cool songs with my producer. His name is Nick Smith. We dropped our first song together, Caught Up, in November, and that's definitely like the more like Y2K pop R&B type beat.
Mhm.
And then we dropped a song called Marry Me in January, and I wrote that song for my two friends who got married. And it's definitely an upbeat R&B pop type vibe. I love that song so much. And then I've been dropping singles from my upcoming project. So I have Good to You out right now, and then I have Insane out right now, and then I have Night In coming out on September 13th. And then my entire EP titled Origin of a Heartbreak Kid will be coming out in October.
Yes, go ahead and get it. See, next time I reach out, you're gonna be too busy. You're gonna be like, "Who's she? I ain't got time to talk to her." I'm like talking to like
No, no, you got me at the right time. You got me at the right time.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. And good
Of
luck for everything.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just happy to be here, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me and pick my brain about everything. Like it's been amazing. It's been an honor. Yeah.
No problem. All right, you have a good night.
You too.
Bye bye.